righty. Let's talk last week in if I get the name wrong, I'm sorry, the Wildcat Christmas Classic?
Yeah, just the ACU Christmas Classic.
ACU Christmas Classic, sorry. 2-0 on the tournament. Couple of big wins against some good teams. Just talk about those games in general. We'll get into specifics in a minute.
Yeah, we were just really pleased with our Christmas Classic and just so grateful we were able to put that together this year. We've been working on it for probably 6 years. Finally, it all came together, and so just really grateful to Buffalo and Montana for them traveling to Abilene, America for our Christmas tournament. And two really good opponents, and then Tarleton played both of those teams as well. But we were, really pleased with the way we played. We were excited to play against two teams we had not played before, two completely different styles of play, different coaching, different personnel for sure. So it was a really good, I thought, challenge and a test for us to end our semester on.
And just talk about how cool it is that ACU finally got to host a tournament like that. I know you guys usually travel for something like that. How cool is it that ACU was able to host it and kind of put ACU on the map?
We put our schedule together about a year in advance, and we really try to play 50% of our non-conference games at home. And so this was a great way to get two home games for us playing a classic. So we were thrilled to end the semester at home. But just, we were excited that we had such a big crowd here. We had a lot of friends and family that were able to come in and watch us play because they could drive here. We weren't like in California or Florida or something like that. And so just fun to be able to be at home to end the semester. If we are not at home, you either want to be close, like maybe in the Metroplex, or go far away somewhere where you think it's going to be warm. And we told Montana and Buffalo, like, if y'all will come to this event, we think that it will be warmer here than it is where you're coming from. And sure enough, we offered up some 80-degree weather on Saturday. It was awesome. And some of the Buffalo players are like, we're going back home to a snowstorm, and so they were outside kind of soaking up the sun. Montana, same thing, just really cold weather where they came from. And so just a great overall weekend for sure.
Almost had it. We're so close.
We got a good amount in there.
All right. Here we go.
Talking about the actual games themselves, the fact you held those guys both under 50 points, you held Texas Tech to a really respectable game there. How good is it to see the defensive effort from your team this point in the season?
The last probably 10 days of workouts, we emphasize defense a lot. Full court defense, but spent a lot of time on half court defense as well. We just saw some breakdowns. And, when you have a lot of games like back to back and you're just working on scouting reports, sometimes you lose your, just the intensity with fundamentals, to be quite honest. And so we had a great opportunity after that Commerce game to, spend some time on ourselves. After the Tech game, spend some time just on our team, really breaking down some half-court defensive principles. And I think it really paid off for us in the Classic. We didn't shoot the ball very well, especially in the Montana game, but our defense, kind of held them at bay, which was really good to see that. Good just lockdown, on-ball pressure, very good help side defense. In the Buffalo game, same thing. I think we took 4 charges in the Buffalo game, just people being in help side when we needed them to. In both games, we saw a lot of deflections where we're really starting to play with high hands. We did that in the Tech game as well, just trying to maximize our size when we can by, just having high active hands. Those force a lot of deflections, which might not be a steal for us, but it still disrupts the flow of the offense for the other team.
And you mentioned a little bit, you guys struggled from behind the arc, something you're usually good at. You guys shoot really well from 3. Is that a concern that you're worried about, or is it kind of just, hey, our rhythm's off a little bit, we'll get back to it in a minute?
Yeah, not concerned at all. A little frustrated because you're like, we're better shooters than this. This past week, our shooting guards, our wing players, Molly, Riley, Peyton, Aaron, they shot and made hundreds of threes, and they all shot at over a 60% clip. Now, there's no defense out there on them for sure, but we have excellent shooters. Emma Troxell's a great shooter. Tali Chavez, great shooter. And so, I kind of go by the Wayne Gretzky philosophy. You miss every shot you don't take. And so if we're open, we're gonna shoot it. And so, if teams decide, hey, they're not shooting very well, we're gonna give up those shots. Well, one night pretty soon we're gonna hit 17. So, we're going to keep shooting them. We spend countless hours on 3-point shooting. I mean, we've got really good shooters on our team. And so it's frustrating, I think, to me, because I know how much work they put in on shooting threes, and you just want that to pay off in the games and score at a better clip than we have been this season. But hit some key shots down the stretch in the Buffalo game. They were having a hard time, I think, defending our drives, and so they sat in a zone much of the second half, and we saw some good open threes fall. So hopefully that'll be encouraging and give some confidence to our shooters to continue shooting those wide open shots.
And how good is it of a trade-off that, okay, well, we're not shooting great right now, but our defense is stellar, so we're not needing as many threes. How good of a trade-off is that to see, especially in that kind of a situation?
I think it's rare that everything is going well for you. There's going to be a night you don't shoot free throws well, but on that night you better shoot your threes well. You better make your layups. A night you're not shooting threes well. Yes, your defense has to be a little bit better. You're not going to do everything perfectly. And the way we started the Buffalo game, just our defensive pressure for so many turnovers, or we got the defensive rebound and we were just scoring in transition. We didn't need to shoot threes. We were just scoring in transition. So you've got to figure out how to be good at several things, every game. You can't, I felt like in the Texas Tech game, we shot poorly from the free throw line and the 3-point line. Like, that just can't happen if you want to win games on a regular basis. Had we shot well from either one of those, we're right there at the end of the game against Tech. And so you're not going to do everything perfectly every game, but you do have to have some things line up for sure.
And you guys have another week off until you play a game again against Nelson, and then WAC play starts. Is it kind of a good thing that you're getting this little break, or is it kind of, hey, we're playing pretty well right now, we want to keep it rolling?
We definitely needed a break right now. The semester I don't know why it seemed like once the game started, it was kind of a long semester, not in a bad way, but we spend so much time together, whether it's practice or team meetings, or now that our food services are closed, we have so many team dinners together and games together, and it's fun. But I think everyone just kind of needed to step back and take a break, as far as let's do something different for a few days and relax with family. Everybody was able to go home, and so I think the break was really good. And we've got players playing heavy minutes. They just need to get off their feet for a while and step away from not just games but practices as well. And so I think the break hit at a perfect time.
And conference play, we know it's going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint. But how key is it that you guys start off with a couple of wins over in Utah?
Oh, it's very important. We're playing on the road to start WAC play at Utah Tech, at Utah Valley, two places that we found have been pretty difficult to play. I mean, those coaches are really good. They have their teams well prepared. So we're looking forward to the battles. It'll be a battle at both places for sure. We'll play at Utah Tech on Thursday, and then after the game, we'll drive north up to Orem and get ready for that Utah Valley game. But yeah, they'll be really tough. I mean, both games are going to come down to probably just a couple of possessions. And so we've got to have that kind of mindset, the road warrior mindset, that nothing's coming easy. I mean, we're going into somebody else's house. We're traveling across the country. We've got to have a really tough and gritty mentality going into those games.
And I know you guys have traveled a little bit this year already, but conference road trips are just a bit different. It just is. So how much are you looking for your veteran players to kind of take the lead and show those newer players what conference road trips are all about and how to handle themselves?
Yeah, we intentionally only flew one time in non-conference play because of all the flying that we've got coming in January and February. And we talk a lot about travel with our players, about their responsibilities when we're traveling, and we provide snacks and water and really good meals. But they've got to make sure they're going to sleep on time, and they're waking up at a decent hour, and they're stretching on their own, and they're pounding waters even when we're not with them. Like, there's a lot of things they need to take care of on the road, especially when you fly. You've got to make sure you've got plenty of liquids. You can get dehydrated on these flights, and going up to Utah, completely different climate. We're in a different time zone. And so we do ask our players to be very mature and be responsible about taking care of themselves when we're on the road. I love being on the road. We don't have to deal with class. We're not, in class all day long. And so they do have extra time to watch film, to study their scouting report. to be fully immersed in the business trip that we're on.
And non-basketball question, what's the biggest thing from your Christmas list that you're looking for under your tree?
A new vacuum cleaner. It's imperative to keep your house clean. You have to have a good vacuum cleaner.
That's all I got.
Coach, in that impressive win against Montana, you guys were doing so well in the paint. Whenever you struggled outside the perimeter, you guys were great on the boards and great inside the paint. I mean, Meredith too, especially. But in the ACU Christmas Classic, what led to that success overall, even when y'all out-rebounded Tech as well?
A big emphasis for us is to get the ball in the paint, and we stat what we call paintballs, and we have our own definition for paintballs, and we want to get 80 paintballs a game, and we feel like if we can get the ball in the paint that many times, that good things are going to happen for us. We're either going to have high percentage shots, maybe a high percentage shot and an and one situation to get to the free throw line, or kickouts to our three-point shooters. And this weekend was really good. I don't have the paintball numbers for the Buffalo game, but I think it's going to be a really high number we're going to be happy with. But just the consistency of getting the ball in the paint, every possession, if you can, about 80 paintballs a game has a pretty high percentage chance that we're going to win the ball game. We're at about 95% winning ball games when we have 80-plus paintballs.
And Meredith, too. Why does she continue to be so well at paintball?
Yeah, Meredith is not going to take a bad shot. She is going to kick the ball out before she takes a bad shot. She has put in a lot of work on her own. She is initiating contact instead of shying away from it. She's initiating contact and going up and scoring against contact, and just has shown a lot of maturity this year. And she had a great sophomore season, but as a junior, like, her mentality is just a lot different as far as just being a big scoring threat for us.
What is the chop wood winner and the carry water winner?
Yeah, our chop wood is basically the MVP of the game. You know, they just did all the little things right. They filled up a stat sheet. Might not always be your leading scorer, but someone who's just filling up the stat sheet. Chop wood for us is just mastering the fundamentals of the game: steals, assists, rebounds, points, taking a charge. All those things. Just the details of the game are really important. The carry water, who was the best teammate. And that comes down to some stats as well. Like, if you have high assists, like you were a good teammate, if you're cheering on your team, taking charges, we give you some points for taking a charge, but that's not in the stat sheet at all. No one else knows it unless we celebrate it, which we do. We celebrate charges. But carrying water is about the whole village. You've got to go get buckets of water every day for your village to survive. So it's about being the very best teammate you can be.
That's awesome. I don't have any more questions.
Who leads the charge wall right now?
Emma Troxel.
Shocker. Who's second?
I'm not sure after this week, because we had 4 charges on Saturday.
Do we know?
I don't know if it's been posted today or not,
Curious.
but Jazz is up there pretty high. Peyton is always in the mix. Aaron. Molly took one in this last game. Tolly's taken one. So I think Emma has maybe 8. But we have a bunch, though. There's probably 7 players who've taken at least one charge. So it's on the charge wall. So if y'all see it on Instagram, you can see what we've done.
I have one more.
Yes.
Last week we talked about your bench needing to step up. Is that still an area of concern for you?
It is an area of very passionate encouragement and recommendation. We need players that come in, and they don't have to come in and score 10 points. It's just come in, be solid, get a rebound, take a charge, force a turnover. Like, come in and just, be the best version of yourself while you're out there. You can't come out and immediately make mistakes, basically.
I know you said earlier you enjoy playing on the road, but you're also undefeated at home this season. What do you think has led to that home court advantage you built here, and what leads y'all to maybe play your best basketball here at Moody?
I guess theoretically it makes the most sense that you would play the best at home because it's where you practice pretty much every day. That's not always the case. We have had teams that were way better on the road. And in those situations, I think, maybe there's a lot of distractions at home. This year, y'all, our families of our players, rare is it, do we have more than 2 players that don't have families here for a home game? It's crazy. Every single family was here in attendance on Saturday. We have 13 players. They all have family here on Saturday. And I think that means the world to our players. You know, in a time where parents are so involved in every aspect of their children's lives, it's a big deal for the parents to be at these games because that's what they've done these players' entire basketball careers. And for them to carve out the time and schedule it into their personal and professional schedules to be at every game, that's a big deal to our players. And so I would credit the huge family support, and just the fact that we're playing where we practice every day.
Do you think it gives the players a bit more confidence when their families are here in attendance?
I think they want to play really well in front of their families. I think for sure that is a factor.
And then between this season and last, you're 11-1 in games in the month of December. What do you think leads y'all to kind of play so well and close out non-conference play so strong this year and the last?
You know, maybe it takes November just to kind of figure things out, you know, and we do want to win every ball game, you know, like every team. And we came into December saying, let's be undefeated in December. And had every opportunity to beat Texas Tech. That was our first game in December, or maybe the second game in December. But, you know, we were disappointed with that, but came home like, hey, all of our games now left in December are at home. We need to take care of these. And so we do take a lot of pride in protecting our home court.
And then finally, with one final non-conference game remaining, what do you think is this team's identity from what you've seen so far? How would you define this team?
It's been a little bit of a roller coaster. I think that this past week we did play really good defense, and we would like to hang our hat on saying we're a pretty, you know, gritty, tough defensive team, but we have to do that night after night. You've got to travel with defense. We want to be a dominant rebounding team as well. We are not going to shy away from shooting 25 or 30 threes a game, and we need to start knocking some of those down. I think for some reason, you know, our confidence has been rocked just a little bit. But some of the other teams in our league who are also good three-point shooters, they're not knocking theirs down either, so I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe the rims are smaller right now. I don't know. But we do want to be a team that can score a lot of points in a lot of different ways. And our goal every game is to score 78 points. We're not hitting that every game, but, you know, we want to score at a high clip. I think that we need more possessions. We need to play at a faster pace. We're not pushing the ball into transition as much as we need to. And so I don't know. We don't really have an identity that we truly want to hang our hat on right now, but I do think that we're trending in the right direction.
Awesome. That's all for me.
One last thing, based on you. You talked about your encouragement of the bench. Did you kind of see that at all during the Classic here this last weekend?
I thought that Molly and Emma Doherty both had some really good minutes for us in our 2 games at home this weekend. They're starting to figure things out. And y'all, it is so hard to be a freshman. There is so much information, like information overload from basketball, but from school, from being away from home for the first time. There's a lot. I mean, it's just hard to be a normal freshman, but playing Division I sports, it's a lot. And I think that Emma and Molly this week, maybe because there was no school or anything, I felt like they really did some nice things for us. Maybe some things are starting to make a little more sense to them. And then Riley Groman's been a really fun player for us to coach. All she knows is to win, and she's a great teammate as well. So I thought that she had a really nice week too. Tali Chavez, you know, she's a junior for us, and she's having a good junior season. We're counting on her to always be, you know, 6th or 7th man. Another really good three-point shooter. We saw that in the McMurray game, and I think we'll see more games where she makes 5 or 6 threes.
I agree.
All right.
You said a